So I'm really thrilled to welcome you, sir. Anuj sir is the founder of Legal Desire Media and Fashion Law Journal. With over a decade of experience in legal publishing and marketing, sir has helped various global law firms to enhance their digital marketing and branding. This is my little introduction of you, sir, but since you can do it the best, I would invite you to do so.
Okay. So as you already mentioned, like I'm a founder of Legal Design Media and Consulting. So we are into legal media and publishing. We have different ventures, like we have Legal Desire. We or are also at in forensic also. We have Legal Desire Forensic. We also have a portal and media, like especially dedicated to fashion also. That is Fashion Law Journal. And we are into consulting also. So we are helping startups, we are helping businesses for the business consulting, for the branding, marketing, and of course with the it comes with the legal insight also, so that like whatever campaigns they are doing for their businesses, be it marketing, be it advertising, be it business planning or something. So we like help them for the legal side. And yes, we also have like publications, like we have journals, we are also having like books, regular books and publications. So that is what we are doing. So we are covering law firms, like if we talk about Legal Desire, and it is now like among the leading legal media houses. So that covers the law firms.
Right, sir. Sir, I have some follow-up questions on this. So, Legal Desire Media, you started Legal Desire Media around 13 years back, which is a media house, basically publishing and helping legal law firms. Then you have Fashion Law Journal. So this like law firms and Fashion Law Journal is totally a different side. And then you also mentioned about forensic and criminal investigation something. So it's very like two different ways. How do you have such a diverse interest, and how are you managing it?
Okay, so if you see the name of the organization, that is Legal Desire.
Right.
So we have desires to explore the unexplored areas in law. So we are exploring the unexplored area, like we were working with forensic. Now we are also working with the fashion law. We are also exploring the new areas. We are also now working on fashion and forensic combinedly. So that
Wow.
is what we are doing. And for like that, like law is broad. Like there are ample number of opportunities, and there
Right.
are if you like if you go to an industry, like there will be a legal department, there will be legal issues. Wherever there is a ecosystem, then again there will be legal issues. And that is like we are trying to address the legal issues. We are trying to educate people, like by our content, by publishing insight, research reports, or whatever content we are creating.
So your contents are really interesting, I must say that. And that's wonderful. But how did this journey start? I mean, how did you start of Legal Desire Media?
So we started way back in 2012, and I was in my law school only, and we started this journal, like because we see the gap of at that time, like books were only the primary source. Like if we talk about
Yes.
the research insight, I'm
Hmm.
not talking about the like regular topics that we have in our academic curriculum. But if, for example, if you wanted to find something on like subject areas of jurisprudence, so you won't be able to find something on the internet.
Hmm.
So that is how like we started covering those things that were not available on internet. We started covering judgments that time, and we were among the first, like who were covering the judgments at that time. Like we were summarizing those judgments. We are not only summarizing the Indian judgment but also the foreign courts also. So we used to summarize like daily the judgments that is coming up from the like Supreme Court, High Court, or the ICJ. And right now, like Supreme Court website is like updated every day, every
Yes.
single day. But during that time, like it's take around 2 to 3 days. So we have to wait for the judgments, and then we have to summarize those things, and then we put on our website. So this is what we started covering like judgments, and then we expanded ourselves like to covering the law firms, in-house counsels, and now we are only covering the legal insight. We are not covering judgments and legal news, because we see like there are other good market players in this industry that are doing their best. So we are focusing on only legal insights, coming up with a research report. We are a think tank, and we are covering the each action of the law firms, in-house counsels. We are covering mergers and acquisitions, whatever deal is happening, whosoever is being promoted, appointed in the law firms. So that what we are doing at Legal Desire. So this was started, and then we also entered into the market of the publications. So we started our journals, and we have a credible journal. So it comes quarterly, and then we explore the other areas. Like I said, by Legal Desire, it means like we are exploring the unexplored areas. So this is how the journey started.
Wonderful. So you started this when you were a law student.
Yeah.
And
Once always a student, we are like still a law students. A law is
that
always a
is
law student.
definitely, we all are students of law, but starting something of this sort while studying in law school itself is a big thing. That too in 2012. These days, entrepreneurship is in trend, and a lot of people are trying something or the other. But in 2012, it must be a great thing to do.
Yeah.
What were the foundational steps? Like, because I guess, I assume there were not many people doing these things too. Who were your mentors, and how did you start? What were the foundational steps?
Like to be very honest, like we don't have as such mentors. So like it is something that we experimented something, and we were like, but we were sure that we will do something with
Right.
the legal journalism, because that is a need of our that time. So there were no such media houses. Like there
Right.
are only like girls. And if you see right now also, like there are media houses, but like we have the credible media houses like Live Law, Bar and Bench. But if you see like a dedicated electronic media for legal fraternity is still not there.
Right. So,
Like we have uh, news medias for stock market, business, and all, but we don't have as such for like legal journalism. And
right.
I hope one day it will be there. So that is the gap that we think that we need to address these issues. Like we need to cover judgments, we need to cover legal issues, and we should like simplify the laws for a layman. So that we were doing, like we simplified like hundreds of law and in summary pointers for layman's, like what is evidence act, and like what are the provision of bail, what is the difference between a culpable homicide and murder. So these type of topics that we started with, like being a law student, so we were studying those subject in our law school, and like we were also covering in a form of articles. So that really helped us in our academic also,
Right.
because we were updated, and we because we were covering the judgment, so we were like citing the latest judgment in our like text,
Exams.
answers. Yeah. So we are not like putting only MC Mehta versus Union of India if we have like environmental exam, but we were citing the latest judgment. So
Right.
our even our yeah. So faculties have to find out like which judgment is this. This is the latest judgment. So when they were checking our answer sheet, so this helped us and this motivated us, and then we got good traffic on website, and we started with the student teams. Like we started with student writers, campus ambassador, and then like internship. This is how we built our team. And by the third year, fourth year, so like we entered into the market of legal marketing, business development. So we started working with law firms, and we were helping them, because by that time like we were having 1 million of readership for Legal Desire, and
Wow.
we used that traffic to help law firms grow their practice areas. And we were publishing their insight, we were having interviews with them, we were publishing those interviews stories, like because we wanted to give practical information, like
Right.
you are doing this initiative, because
Yes.
a person in the field can tell better about that profession. So we
Definitely.
started doing covering those interviews, we started doing podcasts and everything. We started doing videos. So this is what we did for the initial days, and we when we closed our first client for legal marketing, and this is how eventually we grew. And then we found our like revenue market. So because we were like still now like Legal Desire is always open source. Like we are not having any paywall like other websites, so we don't charge any users to access our content. It is
Hmm.
always free and will always be free. Uh, like be it Legal Desire, be it Fashion or Journal. So every website of Legal Desire remain for free. So because you want like knowledge to be free, and because it is helping law students, so we get so
Definitely.
many messages from law students and lawyers that this article or this interviews like
Hmm.
it helped them be in their exams or be in their drafting and
Understanding.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, understanding. So that is why like it is very important, like you are getting indirect promotion, indirect publicity, and like people are talking about your website and your work. So this is something like I see like money can't buy those things. So,
Right.
but if I paywall on my website, so my traffic will go down
Yes.
because only those who can afford that membership or subscription, they can only access the content.
Right.
So this was
Wonderful, sir. So, but I am really curious to know, because even today, like, okay, with the advent of LinkedIn and other e-platforms, people and law students are thinking about different fields, like freelancing, be it contract drafting, fashion law, and everything. But still today, it's not so much in the mainstream. We only talk in our law schools, we only talk about corporate jobs, litigation, judiciary. At the least, we talk about academics. So
right.
fashion law or legal journalism still is not in trend so much. I mean, of course, it is in trend in the, what do I say, tier one cities, but in tier two and tier three law schools and tier two and tier three cities, it's not so much in talk.
Fashion also, we see that fashion industry is one of the biggest industry. Like after agriculture, it is the second most industry which employs a mass population. So around 25% of population like that is employed. It is the employment is generated by apparel industry, and it contributes a lot to GDP also. So you can see like this much amount of ecosystem is there, a big ecosystem. So there might be legal issues for obvious thing, and there can be so like there then there will be legal challenges. So there should be a lawyer or there should be person with legal expertise so that they can sort out those challenges.
Yes.
For example, in fashion supply chain, where if you are a fashion brand owner or a designer, then you will go to a manufacturer to find a raw material. So you will have a sales purchase agreement, then you will go to a manufacturer, then you will have a manufacturing agreement, then you will find a printing partner, logistic partner. So like at every stage you are dealing with contracts.
Yes.
But because of lack of information awareness, so like everything is done orally or without contract. So these are the things that we thought for like addressing. So these are the like other issues. Like I see the students are now entering into the contracts and they are also doing freelance work. So it is very good, and because they are learning things, and it is something that will help them in the, like when they pass out from the law school. So they have something practical skills with them. So like you should like being a law student, you should explore these areas. So don't limit yourself to litigation, judiciary, but of course, if you want to make your career in litigation and judiciary, then it's fine. But if you want to explore the other areas, you should, because you have a 5 years of law school. So it gives
Yes.
you ample opportunity and time to experiment things. So you can do one internship in IP, one internship in criminal law, one internship in corporate law, so that you can see like the areas which interest you most.
Right, sir. I also got to know about fashion law through some of the reels, maybe of your posts page only, and then I read about it more. I had heard the word, but I did not really know what it is. But for the audience, I would like you to please clarify: is fashion law a discipline in itself, or is it a combination of several laws, such as you mentioned about contracts, then intellectual property and merchandise? A lot of uh, laws are combined. So is it a completely different discipline in itself, or is it just a combination of few laws?
Fashion law, if I say, it is a broad term. So it is not a separate law that we can say, or it is not a specific law. It is again an umbrella. For example, when we're talking about criminal laws, so we are talking about IPC, we are talking about CRPC. So similarly, like we are talking about fashion law, it means laws relating to fashion industry
Hmm.
and its stakeholders. And who are the stakeholders? It can be consumer, like we also as a consumer of fashion, we are consuming fashion, and fashion designer, fashion models. We are not only talking about celebrities. So everything like who are into the supply chain, a manufacturer, a logistic provider, like maybe event marketing company. Now we have age of influencer. So
Hmm.
they are all of this fashion ecosystem. So
Right.
whatever legal issues that they are facing, so whatever legal challenges they have in this industry, so fashion laws are those laws that are talking about those rights and duties. So it will also include contract, it will also include IP, it will also include real estate, it will also include taxation, dispute resolutions, human rights, sustainability. So it's umbrella term.
Yeah. Okay. So I also saw a reel where there was like a comparison type of thing. One side, one is working on a laptop saying this is corporate life, and there was a girl who was like really well dressed and maybe having some fun at this. If you want this life, be a fashion lawyer. It got me into thinking, what is fashion law? I mean, uh, is it something way different, way interesting, or is it the same thing? Because like you mentioned, contract drafting, IP, all of these things need a laptop and you need to work like a corporate lawyer. So what is so interesting about fashion law?
See, I won't say only fashion law is interesting. Every areas in law are interesting. So if you're passionate about criminal law, you will like criminal law better than like
Yes.
fashion law. So it's up to the person, like what interests you. But like there is no comparison. And when we talk about like fashion law is so like because we are dealing with the business side of fashion, we are also dealing with the influencers, creators, designers. So it is something like when someone is building something, when a designer is starting their own brand. So and you are the person like who is helping them in their journey. So it is something satisfying, fulfilling, like you are helping them from their initial steps. So
Right.
a difference between the fashion lover and the other lovers will be like a fashion lover will be the one like uh whose main like I can say aim is to like to minimize the litigation.
Hmm.
Like you are working at the initial stage, you are not hired only when like there is a legal issues, but you are at the first step of your client. For example, if I'm having a client like who is starting a fashion brand, so I'll also help them write a business plan.
Hmm.
I'll also tell them about the laws that are applicable, like which type of certification you need for this product, which type of IP is applicable to your brand. So I'm at every stage. So at like planning stage in, and then when they are building a product, so that stage, and negotiation stage, business stage, and after legal issues. So like it is a diverse field. So we are not only going for court, or you are not only sitting for the negotiations, but you are working every day, like at every stage. So you are drafting the contract, you are dealing with the negotiations, you are also helping them protect their IP and taxation and compliances, and also find like drafting the real estate agreement. So that is something different. Like you're working every day at every stages. So not just for litigation and like the dispute resolution.
Right, sir. Sir, so how did you come up with the idea of fashion law journal? I mean, already you have mentioned about it, but why particularly fashion law when you started like, fashion law journal?
So, like, because there is no, when we talk about fashion or journal, so there is very less content
Right.
available
Yes.
when you want to read fashion law. And there is also myth about fashion law. If you search for it, like it is talking about IP, it is talking about business of fashion. But as fashion law is not something related to or limited to like IP and
Mhm.
business side only. It is also talking about the other things. Like I told you, there are artisans also. They are workers engaged in this industry. So we have to also talk about those, right? So
Hmm.
at Fashion Law Journal, we are never endorsing any like the laws or the legal issues only relating to the celebrities or influencer. We are always covering the broad spectrum. So we are also talking about the rights of designers, rights of photographers, rights of event management company, rights of fashion models, and yes, artisans and workers, and yes, of course, consumer also. So this is why like a content like a resource was needed. So we started doing this, and we started working on those topics. And like for example, gender pay gap in fashion industry, and then again there is ageism in fashion industries here. So those are the issues that we wanted to address by this journal, and we are covering those things. So we are not covering only limited areas, so we are covering in a broad spectrum. So we have, if you visit our website, and also like if you see our Instagram content, so we are creating content in a manner that it is fun to watch and it
Yes.
gives you information.
Definitely, it's so much fun. And even when I heard the word fashion law, the first thing that came into my mind was IPR. I mean, only the rights of designers who are designing and someone infringing their rights is what I thought fashion law. Then after a few, few minutes, I thought maybe contract drafting. That's all I could understand. Only after reading, I could understand it's it's so wide. And of course, when you told there were few things with like artisans and labor rights, I could never think of fashion, labor rights in fashion law for some reason, because also we do not talk about it very often. Yeah,
Yeah.
so thank you for sharing that. So what are the, like, obviously there's a huge market, but what are the opportunities of fashion law in India?
So, but like if we talk about India, so India is a huge market for fashion because we are one of the biggest consumer of fashion in India, and we have good designers. We have so many homegrown brands in India, and because India is also manufacturing and for the luxury brand also as our outsourcing partners. So if you talk about the manufacturing, so like even if you talk about the luxury brand, so like they are being manufactured in Bangladesh only,
Hmm.
a country, and then like the company owned by the Europeans and the US one, and like the products are being manufactured in Bangladesh and India only. So a lot of opportunities, be it at every sector, at supply chain, and like for fashion designers. So you like currently right now we are talking, so we have a Lakme Fashion Week going on. So we have a good designers, and now they are being recognized at international level. So the international celebrities are wearing our designers outfits, like Gaurav Gupta, Rahul Mishra. So and there is like we have seen the time of COVID,
Hmm.
when people started starting their own brands, like be it fashion, be it apparel, be it accessories. So you see there is a lot of market opportunities, and every brand, like every luxury brand is right, I can say right now in India also, like they have offices, they have outlets over here, and to satisfy the need of like Indian consumer, like a huge supply is here. So like they need workforce, and there will be legal issues, and there are legal issues, like be it related to contract or counterfeiting. So there are like again ample opportunities. So like one can make career in supply chain, one can make career in compliance manager for fashion brands, one can help in protecting their IP, one can help in contracts, one can help in licensing, one can help in like helping them in content planning. For example, if you are a fashion brand owner and you want to endorse like your product with a celebrity, then you need a celebrity endorsement agreement in
Yes,
place. If you are a content creator and you're creating a reel, so you can't use music, commercial music, you need to take a prior license. So like
yes,
these things will be then again advised by your lawyer, and they can tell you like how you can like enter into those type of contracts so that you are not infringing anyone's right. So like opportunities not into IP, but also into real estate contracts, commercial agreements, doing the compliance of fashion brand. So if they are a private limited company, so help them with the compliances, help them raise fund. Like if we talk about India, Ministry of Textiles has lots of government schemes for
yes,
fashion designers, brand owners. So you can help your client to avail them, because documentation is difficult and only a person with legal expertise, they can help you.
definitely.
So those type of opportunities are there. So a lots of opportunities there. So if you are trying to find fashion lawyer as a job role on LinkedIn or something, you won't find. But if you search it in a way like a compliance manager
Hmm.
or maybe contract specialist, so you will find those opportunities. So they require legal specialists.
Right. So, what I could gather from what you said is, if you really want to work only with the fashion brands, then you need to be an in-house counsel, because there are no particular law firms who are working only for fashion law.
So they have in-house department, but not every brand will have an in-house department. So they are outsourcing it to multiple law firms. For example, they are giving IP work to someone, XYZ firm, and maybe contract work to like ABC firm. So that is how they are working. And in-house department is only dealing with the corporate, the compliances work only. But the, again, litigation, other things that are again handled by the outsourcing uh, law firm. So even being in individual capacity also, you can work with the fashion brand. So you can become their fashion brand consultant, and you can have your individual client also. You don't need to have be in a in-house to help them. So if you have expertise, so because now you know about after these discussions, like you need to have a skill set in IP, contracts,
Yes,
commercial law, and taxations, real estate. So if you have those skill set, then yes, you can apply to being their lawyer, and you can help startup fashion designers, and you can advise them. So this is how like you can have opportunities.
Right, sir. So we talked a lot about the fashion law and the practice, the work they do, but I also want you to throw some light on, the journal part of it. You are the editor in chief for Fashion Law Journal. So how is it? How is it to have a, journal, publishing it quarterly? What goes in that process?
So we have a peer reviewed system, and if we talk about fashion or journal, we already have other journal also. So it was something not new for us, but yes, if we talk about the subject area, it was new, and we have to dig a lot of things to come up with article inside news. So when we talk about the process, so yes, we have to talk with the industry stakeholders. So when we are talking about some issues that is related to maybe influencer creators, when we're talking about any legal issues or challenges or any topics that are relevant to them, so we interviews them, we ask them what are the, so to come up with the insight from them.
Hmm.
So because as I told, like there is very rare content available on the internet and on books also, so they are very rare books. So we have to dig out this information from the practical, from the industry itself.
Hmm.
So this is how like we start the process. We invite articles and research editorials from the guest authors and from everyone. Like anyone can submit to Fashion Law Journal, and but again there is a process for reviewing, and like we also refer to the international journals, like international databases. We only like use credible site like resources. For example, if we are citing any numbers, stats, so we will only cover only the government data only. So we are not covering any think tank or any NGO or any, we can say, any third party blog that is creating viral content or something. So because we want to be like sure of like whatever numbers
Yes.
that we are referring, because we have a good readership and they are looking forward to our content. So we are like we have to be credible. So because it is also again a legal media, and we, be it
Yes.
legal desire, be it fashion or journals, whatever information you are putting on your website, on your journal, on your books, it should be credible.
Right.
Because now about 12 year of legacy, so uh, then again it comes a lot of responsibilities to
Definitely.
be, yeah.
I mean, yes, maintaining the standard and authentic credibility is what uh, have helped you come so far in the journey. For sharing so much of insights, sir. And a lot of things were never heard. I have never heard of these things, and I'm sure a lot of people who will be watching this must will be getting new insights. So thank you so much for taking out time and talking to us. It was really wonderful to speak to you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Likewise, it is always like pleasing for to share our knowledge, like whatever we are doing, because this is a new area and we want like students and lawyers to come into this field, and the other stakeholders, they are aware about their rights and duties, and like this is how, like how can we help them. So we are
Right.
always approachable on our like social media, be it Instagram, LinkedIn or email. So we are like trying to like address these issues. So like if you are a brand owner, if you are a designer, if you are a content creator, so like this is how like we are helping. And like as I already mentioned, like we are keeping always our content free. We don't have any paywall. We won't have in future also. So it was,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
thank you.